live. All right, we are live. I'm killing CJ over here with laughter. We are professionally unprofessional. Professional amateurs at this, but laughter is the medicine of the soul. You should see all the fun we have here at CEM. On second thought, it's good that you don't. Oh, what a day, what a day. Okay, let's see if I can start sharing this. Oh. All right, here we go. Let's see. Come on. Are you tagging there, CJ? I hope you are. I can't see you because I'm off on another screen trying to get things shared. I got the messenger aspect of things if you got the tagging done. There we go. And let me send the share to another group. Here we go. Come, let us grow in the grace and know. Oh, man. Now I've got that song stuck in my head. Hey, Laura. We were having a professionally unprofessional moment and laughing over it, and CJ still is giggling while he's trying to share, and it's causing him to mistype. Look at him giggle.
Oh, man.
Oh, what actually happened, Laura, is that both of us hit the go live button at the same time. Because I said let's go live, or I said I'm going live. I hit the let's go live and started the timer, and he hit let's go live, and so it double posted to Facebook. Well, I ended up removing one, and he's like, "Should I remove one?" I'm like, "No, I've already done it," and it turns out that I removed the one we should have kept. So then it said that we were having trouble on Facebook, and he's sitting there trying to tag people, and I noticed it said we were having trouble, and I started going like this, trying to get his attention. Well, I got his attention, and I pointed up there, showing him that we had an alert, and he decided to end the broadcast because he thought that was what this was meaning. So he ended the broadcast. And then on top of it all, we, of course, had to make a new broadcast. And so he jumped out. I'm like, and what in the world did he jump out for? Why didn't he just take us live again? Well, because we ended the broadcast, we have to do a new one. And so I realized that about 2 seconds after he left. And I jump out. I start creating a channel for the new broadcast. And lo and behold, I'm getting in here. I'm getting everything around to, for us to go live again. He pops in and says, I had created a channel for Noontime Nuggets. So he had been waiting for me to join. Well, it wasn't showing up on my list when I created mine. So yes, we are a mess. But we are having fun being a mess. ZJ's like, speak for yourself. Amateur hour. I thought you said I was only supposed to be 30 minutes. He's holding his head in his hand now. He's trying to prop it up so he doesn't hit his keyboard again. It's on its last key. Oh, what a day. Oh, man. Don't forget Debbie in there, CJ. You're laughing so hard you forgot a few people. That's right. Another perfect example of edifying Christians with professionalism and shenanigans. And it's so funny because if we can't laugh at ourselves, who can we laugh at? It'd be just wrong to laugh at everybody else. I love my brothers and sisters here at CEM. I love my brothers and sisters around the world through Christ because you know what? We can have an awesome time together, laughing, carrying on. And CJ's trying to get a breath. He's been laughing so hard. Well, Teresa, that was long-winded. You'll have to go back and watch that one. Otherwise, CJ will have a fit of apoplexy. He's gonna die of laughing if we do it again. So go back and catch the first 7 minutes there, Teresa. We love you. That's funny you say that because that's exactly what Laura said. See, there's Laura's. Y'all are a mess. I'm not sure I need any more laughing. It's hurting my head, which was already hurting. Yeah, please don't leave, guys. Just like and share and have a good time. Remember, these are nuggets too. We're going to look back and we're going to be shaking our head and going, oh man, did we really do that? Yes, I did tell you that the video I posted was the one earlier that we were having technical difficulties on, so I posted you the new one. I saw Sean was in here briefly. I hope he is still sticking around. Take a breath, CJ. Deep breath. He's like, what are you talking about? I think he's worn out just from laughing so much. Just guess how much fun you're going to have at Bible Reading 2022. Oh. Yes, Sister Laura, definitely. Sean, hello, Brother Levi again, and others. People think that Christians don't have fun. There is actually people out in the world that literally think that they can't have fun unless they're getting high or drunk. Christians prove that we can have fun all without all that worldly stuff. I've got friends who literally asked me, what do you do for fun? Well, I have so much fun that I'm not out partying. Well, their idea was, of course, on weekends they like to go out partying. They like to go out drinking. They like to go out dancing. And I don't do any of those. What do you do for fun around there? Watch movies, play games, video games, play board games, play, put puzzles together, spend quality time with family, talk to each other. That was before I got into CEM. Nobody knows about Sean. Yes, see, CJ's face is as red as his sweatshirt. Except where he's getting peach fuzz. Oh. But I mean, we have fun. There's more to life than tossing back a few drinks and getting out and shaking your tail feathers on the dance floor. There's more to life. You know? Get together for crying out loud, have a meal with some friends, chat, talk, enjoy one another's company, sit out on the patio or the deck or the porch, watch the traffic go by. And my wife loves doing that. Matter of fact, she doesn't like me parking up next to the house because it blocks her view of the road, so she can't watch the traffic go by. I'm like, well, why in the world are you worried about that? You're sitting there with your face glued to the tablet. I'm telling on her. She does get out. She goes outside and walks around the property and spends time with the girls and generally gets in Amos's hair when he's trying to work on something mechanical or goes flying about the property on a golf cart that Amos is working on. Amos did that. He was showing and taking her for a ride in the golf cart and Amos has repaired the engine. He's still working on some aspects of it because it's leaking oil, but he repaired the engine, and in doing so, he gave that thing such a boost of power. He literally flies around the property. And he turned too sharply, and it's one of those 3-wheel golf carts, which flipped the golf cart. Amy went flying, and now her left leg is all bruised. Her left thigh is all bruised from her hip to her knee. Oh. So what'd she do? About 3 days later, she goes and convinces him to let her drive the golf cart. And so she goes flying around the property now by herself. She's always after me to get her a go-kart. A golf cart, sorry, not a go-kart. I don't think I want to get her a go-kart. Just think of what fun you can have over here, CJ, if you come out and visit us. Flying around the property on a golf cart. Teresa, you'd have a lot of fun. Hint, hint, he says. I'm supposed to keep this to 30 minutes? Yeah, right. Oh, Teresa, you'd have a lot of fun sitting out on the porch, watching traffic, and drinking some sweet iced tea, and just chatting, wouldn't we? We'd have a great amount of fun. How great, how wonderful is it when saints love to spend time together, just enjoying one another's company. Remember, we are the family of God. Let's take an interest in each other locally, each other worldwide. Let's take an interest in each other. And let's get into the word, because there be nuggets in them there pages. Yes, there be. One of these days I'll actually get this there accent just about right to you. Funny you mention a golf cart. I rode on one Saturday. Had to step on a cooler to get into it. Yeah, we would have a lot of fun. Sean says, yep, I absolutely know what you're talking about. In my past life, every Friday night was party night. These days, I'd rather just spend time with my lovely wife and other Christian family and either play a board game, watch a movie, even study the Word. I absolutely do not miss drinking or getting high, and I definitely don't miss the hangovers. Well, you can come hang over here. See what I did there? See what I did there? Christian fun is way more exciting and safer than going to parties every Friday night, brother. You're right. There is more to life than all that world. You don't want us to text Proverbs 12? You suppose if we texted him, he'd answer us? All right, let's get into the word, shall we? Proverbs chapter 12. Whoso loveth instruction loveth knowledge, but he that hateth reproof is brutish. A good man obtaineth favor of the Lord, but a man of wicked devices will he condemn. A man shall not be established by wickedness, but the root of the righteous shall not be moved. A virtuous woman is a crown to her husband, but she that maketh ashamed is as rottenness in his bones. The thoughts of the righteous are right, but the counsels of the wicked are deceit. The words of the wicked are to lie and wait for blood, but the mouth of the upright shall deliver them. The wicked are overthrown and are not, but the house of the righteous shall stand. A man shall be condemned according to his wisdom, but he that is of a perverse heart shall be despised. He that is despised hath a servant, and hath a servant is better than he that is honored. Scratch that, back that up, rewind. He that is despised and hath a servant is better than he that honoreth himself and lacketh bread. A righteous man regardeth the life of his beast, but the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. I want to put that one up here for a minute. Come on. He that tilleth his land shall be satisfied with bread, but he that followeth vain persons is void of understanding. The wicked desireth the net of evil men, but the root of the righteous yieldeth fruit. The wicked is snared by the transgression of his lips, but the just shall come out of trouble. A man shall be satisfied with good by the fruit of his mouth, and the recompense of a man's hands shall be rendered unto him. The way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but he that hearkeneth unto counsel is wise. A fool's wrath is presently known, but a prudent man covereth shame. He that speaketh truth showeth forth righteousness, but a false witness, deceit. There is that speaketh like the piercings of a sword, but the tongue of the wise is health. The lip of truth shall be established forever, but a lying tongue is but for a moment. Deceit in the heart. Hang on, I want that one. Thank you. Deceit is in the heart of them that imagine evil, but to the counselors of peace is joy. There shall no evil happen to the just, but the wicked shall be filled with mischief. Lying lips are an abomination to the Lord, but they that deal truly are his delight. A prudent man concealeth knowledge, but the heart of fools proclaimeth foolishness. The hand of the diligent shall bear rule, but the slothful shall be under tribute. Heaviness in the heart of man maketh it stoop, but a good word maketh it glad. The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduceth them. The slothful man roasteth not that which he took in hunting, but the substance of a diligent man is precious. In the way of righteousness is life, and in the pathway thereof there is no death. All right, let's get into this. Let's find the nuggets. Let's dig. First, we notice that whoso loveth instruction loveth knowledge. He that hateth reproof is brutish. In this nugget, what we see is that there are times when instruction involves reproof. And if you were to write a correlation or a cross-reference verse with Proverbs 12, it would be in Hebrews, and I believe it is 12 verse 6. So if you write a cross-reference for Proverbs 12:1, it is Hebrews 12:6. For whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth, and scourgeth every son whom he receiveth. If you endure chastening, God dealeth with you as with sons. For what son is he whom the Father chasteneth not? But if ye be without chastisement, whereof all are partakers, then ye are bastards and not sons. Woe unto us if we are not sons of God, is the idea. No, it calls it brutish. Yeah, I think some of the other references, some of the other versions call them stupid. Yeah, ESV does. A brute would be like an animal, like an ox. That would be a brute. The idea is a bit different than brutishness. A brutish person, a foolish person, a stupid person, um, basically worth nothing more than for food, as King James kind of, or as the Strong's adds it. Brutishness, stupidity. Whoso loveth instruction loveth knowledge, but he that hateth reproof is stupid, is brutish. Um, so there are times when instruction involves reproof, involves chastisement. If you love instruction, you're going to love knowledge. You're going to learn. You're going to know. And you are going to, at times, receive correction or chastisement or reproof. And also correlate that or cross-reference that with 2 Timothy chapter 3, verses 16 and 17. Because what is the word of God for? For reproof, for correction in righteousness, or correction for instruction in righteousness. The good or wise man obtaineth favor of the Lord, but God will condemn a man of wicked devices. Verse 2. Verse 4. A virtuous woman is a crown to her husband, but she that maketh ashamed is as rottenness to his bones. Take a look at that word virtuous for a moment. Strength, might, efficiency, wealth or army or force. A virtuous woman, a strong woman, a mighty woman, a good woman, an efficient woman is a crown to her husband. When you look at the picture in Proverbs 31 of the virtuous woman, what you're going to see, who can find a virtuous woman for a price is above rubies? As you scroll down and you read through this this proverb, you'll find that she is efficient, she is busy, she is working. No, I just this is a good correlation, a good cross reference for Proverbs 1 verse or Proverbs 12 verse 4. An efficient woman, someone who's very busy, who brings honor and who's strong in her own right, and busy about that which will profit both her and her husband, her family. But now the opposite is true. She that is lazy, that is weak, as in weak-willed, not necessarily weak-willed, but weak. Weak-willed. She that is not virtuous, not any of those, not any of those qualities, maketh ashamed, and brings rottenness to his bone. He becomes bitter. He eventually ends up despising her because she doesn't help. Great minds think alike, Brother Sean. So then we jump down to Proverbs 12:9. He that is despised and hath a servant is better than he that honoreth himself and lacketh bread. Who is it that should be our honor? Jesus says it a different way, and I don't have the reference up. Maybe CJ can get it for me real quick. But he says that we're not to be seeking the higher seat, rather the lower seat. He says that he that is first shall be last, and he that is last shall be first. Where is our attitude? What is our focus? Certainly could apply to men. If men are not doing, not fulfilling their God-given roles, see, Sean, if they're not busy and being the strong leaders that God set them to be, then how can a woman look up to him? How can a virtuous woman look upon a husband that is not being virtuous, that is not being the man that God wants him to be? CJ doesn't know what the deal is with his internet. He's not following something or other. I don't either. It's been a while since you restarted your router. So we need to make sure that we're not honoring ourselves. We're not tooting our own horn. He that is despised, he that has been looked down upon, yet has a servant, is better than he that honors himself and has no food. Proverbs 12:10, a righteous man regardeth the life of his beast, but the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. Brings to mind the story of Abraham Lincoln as he was one day out driving. I should say driving fence posts, because he was actually installing fence. And as you know, Abraham Lincoln also split fences. That would mean he would cut down the trees and he would then make the rails and stuff for his fences. As he was out there making fence, a man happened to ride by and stopped and chatted with Abraham. And as the guy got ready to go, he had a little trouble with his horse. At which point the man, the owner of the horse, started whipping the horse. Thank you for those references, CJ. He started whipping the horse. This irritated Abraham so much that Abraham Lincoln went over there, snatched the whip out of the man's hand, and proceeded to soundly whip the man. And he used this particular proverb as justification. He says, if you aren't going to treat your horse any better than that, you aren't, you're less than an animal. A righteous man regardeth the life of his beast, but the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. And understand that Abraham Lincoln grew up reading the Bible by candlelight. He was educated by his stepmother, for which we have a lot to thank her for. But he used this. This is the justification. You ain't any kind of man if you're going to go out there and abuse your animals that are under you. A man shall be satisfied with good by the fruit of his mouth, and the recompense of a man's hands shall be rendered unto him. In other words, we need to make sure that our mouth, our words, match up with our deeds. And when our deeds are such as, well, if our hands and our deeds and our words are not matching, then we're going to be receiving the recompense of what we sow. But Paul said it this way: whatsoever you do in word or deed, do all in the name of the Lord. But he also said, oh man, I lost it. Anyhow, Jesus said, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. For out of the heart proceedeth all sorts of wickedness. Fornication, cursings, and railings, such like, murders, envyings, drunkenness. Our words and our deeds need to match. We need to be men of good moral words and character, or words and deeds, which means character. A man shall be satisfied with good by the fruit of his mouth, and the recompense of a man's hands shall be rendered unto him. Yes, there is a lot of animal abuse out there, Sean, but I want to caution you. We should never elevate an animal to the status of a human. God did not put them on the same level. And not everything that is done is abuse. Yeah, that's right. Actions speak louder than words. And actually, that, I believe, comes from a later proverb. But we need to make sure that we don't do either one of those two, that we elevate animals to the status of humans, or that we carry anything to abuse. Now, we have 2 dogs. If I let both dogs off the chain at the same time, they would be running hither, thither, and yon, disappearing for hours at a time, and who knows whether or not they would kill another man's cows, and then I would be liable for that, or whether someone would shoot them for being on their property, etc. So what do? Some people might view the fact that I keep one dog on the chain at all times as an abuse. However, one dog is on the chain during the day and the other dog at night. All times, my dogs are sufficiently fed and watered, and at no time are we abusing them. But what one man may consider abuse is not necessarily the case. And then it gets me, I love my animals. I love my dogs. I love my cats. But they are not my children. They are my pets. And everything has to have its proper place. God first, others second, ourselves next, and animals in their proper place, because they are not helpers that are suitable for us, but they are companions. The only suitable helper for man is woman, and the only suitable helper for woman is man. And children are the offspring of man and woman. But animals are companions. They are deserving of our love. They are deserving of the best that we can give them for their status. But this is coming from what Genesis teaches us. Because Genesis chapter 2 teaches us that these, while they may be companions, are not suitable helpers, and they are not our children. We can love them like children, though, right? Especially if we don't have any. The way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but he that hearkeneth unto counsel is wise. That's kind of self-apparent, right? A fool's wrath is presently known, but a prudent man covereth shame. It don't take much for a person who, for a fool to fly off the handle, and everybody knows. That's not saying every fool is a wrathful person. That's not saying every wrathful person is a fool. That is saying that a fool's wrath is presently known. He never hides it. But a prudent man covers shame. So the prudent man may be ashamed of something. He may have gotten angry and has learned to swallow his pride. Is wrath and anger the same thing? What does the Bible say? Wrath is defined as anger, vexation, provocation, grief. So chaos here is vexation, anger, grief, indignation, provocation, sorrow, spite. So yes, a fool's anger is presently known, but a prudent man covereth shame. He's learned to swallow his pride. Kind of like Jesus did, who when he was reviled not again. He swallowed his anger. Who when he was abused, threatened not. Now I marked this one here in Proverbs 12:18. There is that speaketh like the piercings of a sword, but the tongue of the wise is health. James has an entire chapter, James chapter 3, about the tongue. And it talks about how no man can tame the tongue. But we need to bridle the tongue. Our tongues can either build up or they can tear down. In our anger, in our grief, in our foolishness, in our bitterness, our words become as sharp as a sword. But in our love, in our tenderness, in our care, our tongue is health. We give words of encouragement and edification. Hello, Debbie. Good to have you with us. So this nugget is be mindful of what you say and how you say it. Examine your motive for saying what you are saying. Are you speaking out of bitterness? Are you speaking out of anger? Yeah, you are late. Uh, we'll make no bones about it. You are late, but that's okay. You've been working, and now you're here, and you can and help encourage us and enlighten us. Um, are we speaking out of anger? Are we speaking out of grief or bitterness or hatred? Are our words designed to tear a person down? Or are we speaking out of love? A sincere desire for the well being of another, to build up one another. The story of Dad and his angry son. There are a lot of stories like that. What this one reminds me of is the idea that we need to be careful what we say because we may end up eating those very words. But think of it this way. Our purpose as Christians is to edify one another. Not take your words for granted, Debbie says. That's right. Our purpose is to edify one another, not tear each other down. Even in rebuking, reproving, and instruction, we are to seek to edify. As we mentioned before in the devotion, excuse me, we are to seek one another, seek the other's good in what we're doing and in what we're saying. There is that speaketh like the piercings of a sword. Watch your language. Watch your tongue. Watch your attitude. The tongue of the wise is health. It's going to promote healing. It's going to promote growth and building up. Teresa says, yes, so true. What we say, we can't take it back. We can't. Our world is full of people saying one thing and then walking it backwards, trying to take it back. And sorry, not sorry. I make no apologies for it because you know what? You cannot walk back something that is a matter of record. No matter how you try to spin it. Notice what it says about lying lips. Proverbs 12:22. Lying lips are abomination to the Lord. They're totally abhorred. They're disgusting to the Lord. He wants no part of them. But they that deal truly are his delight. Watch your words. James chapter 3. Bridle that tongue. Because if you're not careful, you're setting people on fire and are setting yourself on fire. The fire of hell by what you say. Heaviness in the heart of a man maketh it to stoop, but a good word maketh it glad. When we're down, when we're depressed, our heart is broken. Our heart is stooping under a heavy weight. Yet, one word of love, one word of building up, causes that heart to be strengthened, makes it glad. When someone's there holding our hand, burdens are lightened. When someone's there listening and offers sound encouragement over a cup of tea, cup of coffee, perhaps a morsel of food, or just sitting there listening and chatting about it, makes the heart glad. Bear ye one another's burdens, and so fulfill the law of Christ. Folks, we're under a law. Make no bones about that either. People want to say that because of Romans we're not under a law, but yet Paul says we are under the law of Christ. Paul himself says we are under a law, just not the law of Moses. And the word of the law says we are to bear one another's burdens. Sean says the son would get so angry and say hurtful things to his dad, so the dad took his son outside. The nails. Yes, you told me that one. Give him nails and a hammer, told him every time you get angry, put a nail in the fence. The son did so for a month, and the dad told him every time you are calm, take a nail out of the fence. Again, the month went by. Well, by this time, the dad took the son out to the fence and showed him all the holes in the fence, board, post. The fence is the heart. The nail hole is every word that we have said out of anger. Heaviness in the heart of a man maketh it to stoop, but a good word maketh it glad. In the way of righteousness is life, and in the pathway thereof there is no death. Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh to the Father but through me. He that doeth righteousness is righteous, even as he is righteous. If we walk in righteousness, if we walk in his light, there is no death. Physically we may die. Spiritually we won't, right? Because Christ offers life, eternal, but only in his path. And Psalm 119 verse 105 says that your word is a lamp unto my feet and a light to my path. Jesus is that light as well. Hark! There be gold in them pages. And so, I encourage you to keep digging, because there's more nuggets to be found. Thank you for joining me for another Noontime Nuggets. No, I'm not a pirate. Bye, cracky. Thank you for joining me for another Noontime Nuggets. And maybe O'Shea will be back tomorrow. Maybe it won't be till Thursday, but he will be back. I think he'll be back. I'm sure, for sure he'll be back on Thursday, but that's another good point. But heaviness of any sort makes a heart to stoop, Sean. Depression makes your heart to stoop. Depression is a heaviness. Anxiety is a heaviness. And you're right, we're supposed to cast all our cares unto the Lord, for he careth for us. And I wish I had that one right off the top of my head, but I don't. But I do know that we are to bear one another's burdens. And again, there be gold in them there pages. We'll see you next time. God bless.